I thought it was getting warm, but it's bloody cold again. Hello fellow Christians, how you doing guys? I'm Nolan Cruz. I'm here to make your life just a bit better. So here we go. It was 20 degrees out the other day, and now it's 5. Welcome to Canada. Okay, but let's answer a question from another viewer. As I said in my other video, which if you haven't watched my other video, link's up there. I am not naming people anymore, calling them out, doing shit outs, because last time I did that, I was an idiot. Like, so, no. I am going to answer another question, which is building your own farm. Okay, so here's the thing. I told you guys in another video, which I will link to up there, which you should check that one out too. In my last video, I did talk about what to expect when you're going to have your own barn. Like, it's not just, you know, a nice little 9-to-5 job, but some people don't want to listen to me. You are ready to build your own place. So what do you need to know? Everyone goes, oh, I'm gonna have, you know, borders, this, that, and the other. Once I build my own place, great, here we go. And the doors are gonna open and people are gonna be banging on the doors to join me, and we're gonna have a great time. You can have the nicest place going. Have money to fall back on. Honestly, I'm not talking, you know, a few $100s. Think about your barn and how much it's going to cost you for each stall, how much it's going to cost you per horse. Have that amount, just say you have a 15 stall barn at, I'm just going to say $1,000 a month. Make sure that you have 15 grand to fall back on for that first month. Because as I say, you're going to open those doors and people are just going to keep driving by. They're not going to know that you're open, that you don't know that you have a barn or stalls available. Have money to fall back on. Plus, you know what, if you got 15 grand, have, even if you can, double, maybe even triple that to fall back on, because it's not going to go immediate. Doors open, where money is flying in. It's just not happening. But the funny thing with that is, as much as money might not be flying in, it's still going out. Whether the barn is full or not, the electricity bill is still, you know, coming. Have money to fall back on for that first month, second month, third month, hey, maybe even the first half a year. So a second thing I would suggest, whether you're building or you're altering your existing place, whatever, is make sure you have storage. Everybody goes, oh yeah, I got storage, whatever. No, I mean, make sure you have storage. Hay, equipment, whatever you think you're going to need, double it, maybe even triple it. I was at this one place, they built the place, yada, yada, yada. They didn't want a hayloft, they wanted to have separate storage. Fine, great, dandy, go for it. So they thought, oh, well, this will be enough. And then they realized, oh crap, I need more space. That's not good. So then they started making these little huts everywhere around the whole property because they didn't have enough storage for hay. So that's the same thing. What I'm going to suggest right here as one of the nearest to the top is to make sure you have enough storage for your hay, your equipment, your tractor, whatever. Make sure you got enough of it. And when I say enough of it, I mean double it or triple the amount. Here's the funny thing about having storage space. You'll use it. Wow, I have a bit too much space for the hay. That's fine. You can put your tractor in there at some point. You know, blankets in there that are getting used over the summer. Or you can, whatever it might be, you will find things to put in that storage. But if you don't have that storage, you're gonna have all this extra stuff to put somewhere and you're not gonna have it. All right, so third thing, and this is very important because I just went to a friend's place, which I was just like, oh gosh. Make sure your driveway is well thought out. One place I just went to just the other day, the driveway is pretty. I mean, it's stunning. Like, you can walk through, there's like gardens on both sides, and there's like a river that you go over a little bridge with, and blah blah blah. It's nice. It almost looks like a chalet when you get to the barn. Like, it's very nice. You're gonna have trailers coming in. There's no space to turn around a trailer. Absolutely, I don't know who thought of this. Maybe they were just drunk when they decided, let's build a farm, because there's no spot. I have no clue how horses get in or out because there's no way a trailer can fit in there. Even a small little dinky one is not getting in there. So what I would suggest when you're building your farm is to remember that there's trailers are going to come down. So have spaces to turn around and whatnot. You're going to have reliable parking. Because remember, if you're in like a swampy-ish area, parking on the grass is not going to do it. So make sure your parking and your driveway and all that stuff is workable. Because the last thing we want to hear is, oh, you have a 3-year-old? You're gonna have to unload it on the road because you can't get your trailer down here. So next thing is paddocks. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you're going to do boarding or you're just going to do your own horses, whatever. Make sure you have enough paddocks. I don't mean, well, I got 5 horses, so I'm going to have 5 paddocks. No. Multiply it by 1.5, because what you want to do is you want to make sure you have enough paddocks to rotate. You're in your wet months, those paddocks are going to get a little muddy. So what you want to do is make sure, it's just say you have 5 paddocks, make sure you have 2 or 3 other paddocks are left just to be seated, or they can just rest. So you have horses in these paddocks, and then when it gets mucky and all that, you can let these paddocks rest and go to these few paddocks. Maybe reseed these ones, whatever the case may be, so they're not being used 100% of the time. Now, we all know, money doesn't grow on trees, but if you are looking to ride on a regular basis, you might want to invest in an arena. It doesn't have to be anything special. It doesn't have to be, 80 by 200. It doesn't have to be Olympic size. It doesn't have to be any of that. It just needs to be something that's conducive, so that when it's pouring rain outside, or if it's like where I live, it loves to snow, 5 months of the year, you have somewhere you can go. So speaking of arenas, let's keep going with that idea, and that is don't stinge on the footing. Don't be like, oh, well, this footing's cheap, let's use it. Remember, you're going to be riding on this quite a bit. And our horse's legs, and our horse's feet, our horse's tendons, and horse, right? Those are big things when we're dealing with them. And you don't want to just say, your legs aren't worth it. So don't worry about that. Just, get good footing. You'll be good to go. We all love the cathedral style windows, the big windows that let in a lot of light, and, they have like a little design, whatever, at the very end of the arena, whatever. Yes, very nice, very pretty, but they aren't everything. Actually, I would stay away from arenas that are completely windowed. The reason why I say that is I was at this one barn, as I say, you'll walk into the arena, it was like riding outside. It was like windows galore, it was beautiful. You have to remember that when it's sunny, and it would be sunny a lot of the time, it kind of acted like a greenhouse. Everywhere lets in a lot of light, great, but that also then dries out your footing, which makes it dusty, which then makes, I'm not saying don't have any windows. What I'm saying is just remember that when it gets closed up, and the sun comes in, it doesn't matter if it's spring, summer, fall, winter, it doesn't matter. It acts like a greenhouse. Just have that in the back of your mind when you are designing the arena. As I say, everybody loves the windows. Everyone loves lots of bright light in, but when you go for especially the clear plastic or the clear glass, it does have a way of drying stuff up. So let's move on to this, which is the boarding aspect of it. Now, here's the first thing you need to know about boarding is there's not much money to be made. There's very little money to be made, and come to terms with that right now. If you want a video on how to make good profit boarding, you should check it right there. That's my other video on how to make a good profit while boarding, but other than that, I don't know of a good way to make good profit. Have a place to hang blankets. Having, a washer and a dryer and, heated tack room and all that's great and fun and gravy. What you really need is a place, if it can be heated, even better, to hang blankets when they are muddy, when they are wet, when they are all that fun stuff, especially spring and fall. Most people don't think about that. They think, oh yeah, well, we can hang it over here, we can hang it. They need a place that's out of the way, where they can dry, where they can hang and drip and not make a mess. Best thing to do is have a nice little storage room. If it can be heated, A+. And one more thing about doing the boarding situation, make sure you have space to accommodate your boarders. You know how I said earlier about having enough room in storage for hay and equipment and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you want to do the same thing for boarders. I mean, horse people have a lot of stuff. A lot of it's stowed away at home in the basement with old ribbons and velvet helmets with no clasps and, 1,000,001 saddle pads. But, all that's at home. But I can assure you that they have a car and a half that they're going to pull up with when they move in. Make sure you accommodate that. And that's what I got for you guys today, a list of what to expect and what you should be thinking of when you build your own farm that a lot of people don't think about, and they kind of go, crap, now I'm stuck. So if you can, take this stuff into account. Take as you will, but just remember storage, storage, storage. Remember storage. If you have any ideas or any suggestions of your own, let me know down in the comments down below. Or do you have your own farm? Are you planning on building your own farm? Let me know. If you haven't followed me on Twitter or Instagram, the links are down below. And while you're at that, hit that like button, hit that share button. While you're at that, hit that subscribe button too. I do have new videos up every week to entertain you, but also to shed some light on the dark spot of the horse world that nobody really talks about. So I'm Nolan Cruz, and I will talk to you later. Ciao!